Hey Radicals. Gotta be honest with you. Today, I don't really feel like a queen. I don't really feel like a goddess. I don't really feel like Radically Rachel. But I'm tapping in anyway. I texted my boyfriend today and I said, I don't like my life anymore. I just wish I was someone else. That's for sure. I really wish I could start over, do over. I don't like where I am. I am really unhappy overall. I'm gonna be okay eventually, but right now I'm just unhappy. And that was the best way I could describe the that I'm feeling. And I don't mean unhappy with him and unhappy with my relationship. I mean life right now. And when I reflect on those words that I literally wrote today, something that came to mind was, well, you can change it whenever you want. Those are the words and the refrain of my podcast opening. One day I woke up and I realized I wasn't happy. But the best part about writing your own story is that you can change it whenever you want. And so I have to recognize that I have the power, I am in control, I can change the things that I don't like, and I can change my circumstances. And generally, things are okay. I'm going through some health stuff, gotta get some tests done, gotta explore some things, figuring out how to take care of myself, being gluten-free, dairy-free, blah. Just learning how to care for myself. And really, I know that all of it is requiring me to go to the next level of total health and wellness, mind, body, and spirit. That I've navigated the mind and done almost a decade of therapy, 9 years straight of therapy, and then also working on spirit, right? And that's been a lifelong dance and journey, and I feel so evolved in my spirit and my journey that I then turn right and I teach others and people come to me for guidance. But body, I think the body journey for me is where I'm at now in life. And it's really uncomfortable. And I love myself. I love my body. I love my curves. I feel strong. I feel confident. And I've really accepted myself and healed so much of my child wounding, teen wounding. And today I have the best relationship with my body that I've ever had. But now I know that spirit is taking me even further, and it just doesn't feel fun and it doesn't feel easy. And so I had this moment today where I was sitting in the silence and I felt spirit say to me, but I almost heard it with my own voice, as opposed to the voice I hear of spirit, greater knowledge. Rachael said to me, my higher self, she said, You did it to yourself. There was no other way we were going to get through to you. This is how we're getting through to you. And even recalling it now, it makes me cry. But I heard her that I'm moping over the fact that I have to be gluten-free and dairy-free and I can't enjoy as many margaritas and glasses of wine as I want. And I just wish I could go back to being a kid, which is something I never wished because I hated my childhood. I'm laughing and crying. Here I am now wishing to go back to being a child, only because 8-year-old Rachael could eat whatever the fuck she wanted. And do it blissfully unaware, right? Blissfully unaware. So mind, body, spirit, that's kind of where I'm at presently today. And I'm not ready to release part 2 of last week's episode, but I also was not feeling very radically Rachael. Definitely not feeling my highest self or connected to my highest self. Radically Rachael being the fairy godmother of my own life. And so I thought, let me sit in the studio and let me share an episode like, what would Radically Rachel do? How would I radically Rachel myself? And I want to talk today about dreams and dreaming and manifesting, and how do we hold a more beautiful vision for the future for ourselves, and how do we create that simultaneously while we might be in pain, while we might be in suffering, in agony, depressed, sad, grieving, angry. And right now, our world, our country is suffering. There is mass pain, heartache, suffering, everywhere you turn, online, in reality. Especially right now, things are happening in Chicagoland, and it's very close to home. I'm scared for my neighborhood. I'm scared for my own town. With the presence of ice having been seen multiple times, and there have been some invasions and arrests, and so, like, near and far, there is pain, there is suffering. So today, when I'm speaking about dreaming and holding a vision for the future, I want you all, listeners, I want you to know I am trying to hold that at the same time, but some of the things I talk about today will also be very small-minded and more close to your own life. But I also do want to hold a beautiful vision for the future, even while it is hard and painful and while we are suffering, if that makes sense. So I want to honor and acknowledge what is happening in the globe, in the global sense right now, and the fear that is real. But I'm also going to ask us to dream about things that are not going to be as important in terms of the comparison of global peace. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at here. Like, me having my dream job and making the figures I want to make. Like, right now, we need global peace and for a livable wage. And I feel the anger and the injustice and the rage as well. But I want to hold both today. I want to allow us to hold what's happening in the world, but also be able to go within and alchemize your own dreams and your own visions. Let's get started. Dreams. Now, I'm talking dreams like creative inspiration, aspirations, visions, your passion. That's what I'm talking about here when I'm talking about dreams. Dreams are the first component of anything that we do in life. We first have to have the dream, have the vision. Then we think about it, we reflect about it, we feel about it, we hold it emotionally. Then we can take action on something and see how we end up. But a dream is the first seed. When you imagine the decorations of a party that you want to have, there are thoughts in your mind first, a vision, a dream in your mind first, an outfit that you want to wear to a specific event, what you'd like your next day off to look like, what you imagine yourself doing on a vacation, what you'd like your life to look like a year from now, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, what your ideal partner would be like. What might they look like or act like? Dreams. Are you with me? So, in the tarot, dreams would be associated with wands, the suit of wands, which is fire. That's creativity, passion. That suit comes first in the minor arcana. Then we have the cups, water, connected to our emotions, intuition, often relationships and people, but the cups come after the wands. wands being the dreams, and then cups being the emotions that we feel about those dreams. Next is swords, connected to air. Swords are related to our intellect, thoughts, our communication, our reasoning. Swords are of the mind. So first we have a dream, then we feel how we feel about it, and then we think about it, we reflect about it. Well, what would that mean? What would that look like? What would so-and-so's opinion be? What would other people think? What would other people say? And then we have the pentacles, coins or crystals, which is connected to the element of earth, often linked to material possessions, money, career, our home, things we can hold with our hands, like practical matters. So today we're just going to focus on dreams, having the vision, having the dream, having the creative insight. We're not going to worry about the feelings associated with that today. We don't want to attach to those. And we don't want to bring in the mental logic. Well, how could I get there? Well, how could I do that? Or, well, blah, blah, blah. We don't want to do that. Your mind's going to get carried away and you're going to think, well, these dreams aren't possible for where I am today. So we're not going to think about that. And we're not worried about the outcome. We're not worried about the pentacles on the other side. We're not worried about that, the material outcome. We're just going to focus on the dreaming and the pleasure of what lights us up, what excites us, and what are some beautiful dreams that we can hold for the future. Have you ever seen Cinderella, the movie or the musical? I had the pleasure of playing the fairy godmother when I was a 15-year-old high school girl. And so my next little metaphor story here is one that is near and dear to my heart, but it's important. Okay, friends, so Cinderella. Cinderella was living at home with her evil stepmother and her wicked stepsisters, and she really wanted to go somewhere. She wanted to go to the ball. Good job, good job. And so she wished, she was hoping and praying and wishing to go to the ball. And someone heard her. Who came? Who came to answer Cinderella's wishes and prayers? Aha, yes, her fairy godmother. Now, prior to the fairy godmother's arrival, Cinderella believes that going to the ball is impossible. The dress that her mice friends had helped her make got ruined. She's nothing to wear. She's no way to get there. But the godmother sings to her. I think she's kind of teasing her. She sings, "Fol-de-rol and fiddle-dee-dee, fiddly-faddly-foddle, all the wishes in the world are poppycock and twaddle. Fol-de-rol and fiddle-dee-dee, fiddly-faddly-foodle, all the dreamers in the world are dizzy in the noodle." Impossible. Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carriage. Impossible for a plain country bumpkin and a prince to join in marriage. And 4 white mice will never be 4 white horses. Such fol-de-rol and fiddle-dee-dee of course is, you know it, impossible, right? Okay. But the world is full of zanies and fools who don't believe in sensible rules and won't believe what sensible people say. And because these daft and dewy-eyed dopes keep building up impossible hopes, impossible things are happening every day. Impossible. It's possible. The fairy godmother, she knows that it's actually possible because she's got a little bit of magic. She's going to help Cinderella. But really, in spirit, she's helping Cinderella to believe that her circumstances could be different than what they were. Because if Cinderella is stuck living in her stepmother's house with her wicked stepsisters, and they treat her badly, and Cinderella never believes that it actually could be different, then her life will never be different. If Cinderella keeps doing the same thing every single day, following the orders of her stepmother, living in that house, never leaving those walls, then she will be stuck, and that will be her future. Because our thoughts create our reality. So I think that the fairy godmother is trying to kind of taunt and tease Cinderella a little bit there, but helping her to understand that nothing will ever be different if we don't dream it to be, if we don't think impossible thoughts. So if we have wild, crazy dreams for ourselves, for our world, for our reality, if we have the dream and have the vision, the feelings will follow, the thoughts will follow, but then there will need to be some action at the end of those dreams. We can't just keep dreaming and wishing and waiting. We have to take action at the end of that. So the fairy godmother has Cinderella go and get these mice and go and get these pumpkins, and she transmutes them using her magic into something else. But really that is just helping us to understand we need to take something to make it something else. We need to alchemize it. We can't make it manifest out of thin air, but that what energy we have, it cannot be either created nor destroyed, but we can transmute it into something else. And so take your pumpkins, take your little mice, and we're going to work with what we have to get somewhere else. So I think she's helping Cinderella to try to recognize her own power, stand up, take charge of your life here, girl. Because then Cinderella begins to sing herself. It's possible. For a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden carriage, it's possible. For a plain country bumpkin and a prince to join in marriage. And then the godmother joins her. And 4 white mice are easily turned to horses. And such fol-de-rol and fiddle-dee-dee of course is quite possible. So then Cinderella is saying the magic words herself. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. And she's anchoring to a dream, right? She's anchoring to a new vision for herself. And that's what Radically Rachael would say to Rachael today. That's what story she would tell her, is that it's time to dream new dreams. I need to dream and imagine a future where my body actually looks different, stronger, even healthier. I need to imagine and envision that I can be happy and nourished eating different foods than I've ever eaten before, and I have to have the vision and dream that my taste buds will change and that I'll want these healthier, different foods too. And it's okay to laugh because I don't totally believe it yet, right? Because it's I like certain fruits and veggies, but I definitely don't like very many, but I guess I can like more, right? But if I keep saying I don't like fruits and veggies, or if I keep saying I only like these things, then that is going to create my reality because my brain, my subconscious mind is listening, right? So I have to change. I'm catching myself live, friends. Here it is live, right? I am laughing at myself, but I have to be able to say, I can eat new and diverse foods. I can fall in love with new flavors. I'm laughing because it feels so funny in my body to say, but it's true. It's possible. It's possible. So I have to say it and hold that dream. Whoa. Okay. So that's on the health forefront, right? But if I think back to Rachael 5 years ago, I was still an elementary school teacher. I was crying every day before work, and I hadn't yet totally figured out my business plan, but I had the dream of being able to work from my home. I had the dream of being able to make money from my home, or not necessarily by being a teacher. And I really hadn't done many other things other than working with children, so I didn't know what that would be, but I had to imagine, okay, I'm waking up and I'm checking my phone. I didn't need to wake up with an alarm. I have a few messages to respond to, but I have my morning and I can take my time before I have to leave the house. When I was single, I imagined, okay, there's a partner next to me. He makes me coffee, whatever that might have been like at the time. But I had to dream that my life could look different, even though I didn't have the answers. So that's why at the beginning of the episode, I told you to leave the thoughts out of it, because your rational mind wants to be like, well, what would you do in A, B, C, D, E? And just like, don't do that to yourself. Just have the dream. So keep some of those things vague or general if you're not sure how to create a new dream. So I would like to dream that I could open up my window and there would be a forest at my backyard. Maybe I can see mountains in the distance. No, scratch that. I'm opening up my window and there's like a forest, but then there's also a beach somewhere that exists. But I'm like, I want water nearby, but not water so close that I'm worried about my house being destroyed by land erosion. But see, right there, my thoughts take over. My thoughts start to get taken over by fear, or I'm starting to then try to like harness the dream. And like, no, just have the dream that I can open up my window somewhere else and it'll look more beautiful or look different than my view looks now. So I want to open up my window, see a gorgeous view. Did you hear how, one, quickly I could edit, right? And like, oh, actually change my mind. Two, how quickly my ego or my rational brain started to rationalize the dream. Don't do that. So I caught myself doing that, right? Don't do that. Because it's possible. I don't know how. I don't know where. It's possible. The universe is going to do for me what I cannot do for myself. But I'm going to dream and have the vision that someday I could live somewhere else. And my partner and I, we do know we want to live somewhere else. We are open and we both have the vision and we both have the dream that we will live somewhere else. Once upon a time, I was a teacher dreaming that I could have a different career. Here I am today. I have many different ways and many different streams at which I earn income, in which I have an energetic exchange for money and for my goods and services, right? And also for my skills, gifts, and talents that I lend to other companies and that I lend to other people, right? So that their dreams can also prosper as well, right? So that's me participating in the ecosystem of energetic share and work. I work for other people. I serve other communities and other organizations and places of employment, but I do also have my own. There is a version of Rachael who would have never dreamed she'd have a podcast. There's a version of Rachael that never would have dreamed that she could have her own small business or be doing anything other than teaching. So Rachael 5 years ago was dreaming of the Rachael today, which is hilarious. The Rachael today that's like, I don't like my life. I wish I could do over. Because that's not true. It's really not true. But I forget, like, I've come so far. I've come so far from where I was 5 years ago. But I need to keep dreaming because I've gotten as far as my dreams. I accomplished all my dreams. Now I need to dream more so that my life has some new direction and has some new passion and some new purpose. So I need to dream more dreams. So right now, I'm going to tell you my other dreams that I have and hold for myself. I'm holding these things even though I don't have the physical evidential proof that these things could come true, but I'm just going to cast them out to the universe and cast them out loud. So I know that I've always wanted to write a book. I dream of writing a book. I know that I really would love to speak on stage, and I would love to share lessons and teachings and stories with people on stage. I imagine maybe doing a stage show or like a tarot live, Radically Rachael live. I don't know what that looks like, but I imagine it and I see it in my mind and I have the vision. So that's like a dream that I have. I dream for this podcast to continue. I dream for creative ideas and collaborations here and also on my YouTube channel. I would really like to grow online so that I can reach more people, connect with more people, share spirit with more people, but also so that I can make a living in doing so. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm dreaming of a world and a reality where I get to be radically Rachael. And that is my job. That's my career. That's what I really want. And so part of that is me taking action and doing what I can in the here and now. But I know that the universe is also going to do for me what I cannot do for myself. And the universe is going to meet me somewhere. The universe is going to meet me halfway on the other side. And some of those dreams that I have, there's going to be time and space in between here and when that dream gets accomplished. But I need to cast the dream out, and I need to uphold the vision. I dream of a future and a reality where my partner and I have other children. I don't know if that's in our future, in our cards, but I'm dreaming of it and I'm open to it because I know that if I'm meant to have children, that like spirit will put that upon me. I know. I believe that the spirit of my unborn children will visit me and make it apparent to me as well. And maybe that sounds a little woo-woo to you, but I know that that will happen if that's the case. So I'm dreaming it, but I'm open and I'm not attached to the outcome. I dream for a future where my partner and I have a connected and healthy relationship with his daughter and her family. We don't have that right now, in whole right now. We have a great relationship with her, our bonus gal, but I would love for us to have a more connected, healthful, blended family, totally like co-parenting, as a blended unit. And I'm holding up that vision for the future. My heart and my brain want to argue with me, but I need to have the dream. I need to believe it's possible. It is possible. I don't know how, but it is. So I'm having that dream. I dream for a country in which every person, no matter our race, no matter our ethnic background, no matter our gender identity or our sexuality, I dream of a reality where we can truly be given equal opportunities. I believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I know that not everybody is born here with the same opportunities. I know that not everybody is given the same education and experiences, or, not everybody's set up for success in the same way, depending upon what family we were born into and what socioeconomic status we were born into. But I would love to believe in a reality where poverty, right, which is really a man-made thing. It's man-made because the greatest people who have the most wealth, that they could really make huge changes to change that system that keeps people in poverty. But I believe I would like to have the dream, right, in free access, universal health care. I have the dream that our homeless population has housing and access to resources. I have the dream that people will love each other and accept each other and allow each other to exist the way that they were born to exist, and that honors how they feel about their body and their identity and their sexuality. I want to honor people's experiences of themselves. And I want to have a world where people can walk freely, expressing what they want, wearing what they want. And I don't mean expression in that you have the right to express your hate of other people. You don't have the right to express your racism or hatred of another group of people who are different than you. So I have these dreams, right, for myself that are superficial. my health, my wealth, my abundance and prosperity, my career, and my goals. But I also have these dreams for the future. I have these dreams for my country. I have these dreams for the world. I can't do very much to control some of those things, but I can focus on my health, my neighborhood, my home, the people around me, and I can focus on being love. I can focus on being Christ-like, being true like Jesus, right? Jesus was a radical. So I can focus on being light and love to my neighbors and to the people in my community. And I care about the injustice happening in the world around me as well. But I'm going to hold up the dream and keep the vision and keep taking action where I can, calling my senator, calling my representatives, right? I can take action where I can. I can donate and be an activist where I can. But I also know that right now, a huge component of that is dreaming. Just dream for a different future. Dream for a different reality. That is the essence of having hope. That is the essence of having faith. It's believing in something that we cannot see, knowing that it could be different. It's possible. So I leave you with the wise words of the fairy godmother. And because these daft and dewy-eyed dopes keep building up impossible hopes, impossible things are happening every day. And this is your affirmation for today, friends. Repeat after me. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, stay radical. One day I woke up and realized that I wasn't happy. But the best part about writing your own story is that you can change it whenever you want. You are the main character and the author.